Right then, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get underway with the B final for X30 Junior. Great to have Louis Béziré briefly up here in the booth to have a quick conversation. Here is the grid. Sacha Duquet and Denis Kozlowski will be on the front row of the grid ahead of Suriname's Jamaro Hoft and Thiago Dirks from the Netherlands. It's the Netherlands and Belgium on row number 3 with Levi Pape and Manoa Chabonnier. Leo Hardouin and Mauro Vertriest will be on row 4 with Joris Verkerk and Yves Rie rounding out your top 10. Lucas Pellizzari, Cyril Grosjean, Hughes Piquillon, Charles Van Kellecom and Luca Pereira round out your 15-strong grid. Now, of course, we will have the remainder of the... I'm sure that we'll have a hive of activity for the Senior B final, which is due to go ahead after this race here. So once again, it will be 14 minutes plus an additional lap. And there you can see the sun is beating down from the skies above, but the track is still significantly saturated. And so Jamaro Hoft, Levi Pape, Yves Rie, Cyril Grosjean and Luca Pereira have opted not to take part in this particular excursion. Of course, some drivers will be heading to Le Mans for the Iame Euro Cup and Ladies Cup in a couple of weeks' time, where it will be live streamed. I don't know if I want to spiel it. Right. Thiago Dirks has just dropped the cart round the wrong way, running in the formidable CS55 livery, that of Carlos Sainz. First driver in quite a while, I think, since Pastor Maldonado to pick up a podium for Williams Racing. So congratulations to Carlos last time out in Formula One. Of course, there is the Singapore Grand Prix going on this weekend, and I know that qualifying has happened. No spoilers in chat, please. I mean that sincerely. But we are going to have the drivers slowing down here at the circuit ahead of 14 minutes plus an additional lap to set sail into the unknown over the next few moments. So we're going to see how things do transpire. Reference this gaggle of drivers. Okay, into the tram lines, red lights are on. No, full start. They're going to throw them around for another lap. Right. We hope that you have all enjoyed our, our live stream coverage so far this weekend. If you are watching on the Iame Series Benelux YouTube channel, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And, oh, right, that's number 11 again. So Thiago Dirks not having a great run on the Carlos Sainz the CS55 chassis. So whether that is going to potentially cause a drama is anyone's guess. And the sun has got his hat on. Hip, 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 hooray. For how much longer, we don't know. That's the big €64,000 question that really needs to be answered. Will the rain go away, please? Answers in chat, thank you. Right, let's see if we can get this race underway, because if it is the second full start, then we will have the red flag being thrown very, very quickly indeed. Red lights on the gantry for the Junior B final. We are revs up. Lights are out. And are we racing? Yes, we are. Down into turn 1 for the first time. So quite a few drivers not able to make it, well, or decided not to go for the race itself. But look at this, 2x2, Noah's Ark style out of turn 2 for the first time. And now into turn 3. And the drivers are going to have to be very, very careful with regards to their peripheral vision. And more to the point, into turn 4, nearly 3 wide for second position. And we've got a spin. Not too sure who that was, but the thing, it might have been possibly Manoa Chabonnier, maybe, not 100% sure, but we'll wait when they break the timing beam for sector number 2. which will be out of Chemin de Fer and in towards Escargot for this particular lap. And that is the 156 Joris Verkerk that is now retired, and it was Mario Vatrice that actually span at the at turn number 4 there, Simon. So we might not have the biggest contingent in this field, but we are definitely going to watch some, hopefully, some good racing here.
Oui, on est parti pour cette finale B avec cette catégorie X30 junior. Et oh, l'accrochage avec Luca Pellizzari. Ah, décidément, ce n'est pas son week-end à Luca Pellizzari. Il avait réalisé de très belles choses lors des qualifications. Et dans les manches, ça c'est déjà compliqué avec, on s'en souvient tout à l'heure, une petite erreur lourde de conséquences dans le premier virage. Et ici dans cette finale B, encore un contact pour Luca Pellizzari. Il n'a pas tout perdu, hein, rassurez-vous, mais forcément ils sont très peu dans cette finale B. On le voit d'ailleurs sur nos écrans, plusieurs pilotes qui n'ont pas pris le départ, à l'instar de Jane Marov, de Levi Pape, Ivris, Cyril Grosjean et Luca Pereira. Luca Pellizzari qui était 4e et qui a quand même perdu pas mal de positions. Il est désormais en bagarre ici avec Mauro Vertrist.
Yeah, who was the one that spun at turn 4. And it was the fact that Lucas Pellizzari, I think, just understeered into the right-hand side of Denis Kozlowski. And Pellizzari, as you said, hasn't been his weekend. We saw him hit trouble. It hasn't been an easy weekend here in the Corvan region of Belgium, especially with the variety of the weather, how it's been here this weekend. And that has never been easy. Manuel Charbonnier leads Léo Hardouin by 1.5 seconds. Denis Kozlowski P3, Hughes Piquillon, Charles Van Kellecom, Lucas Pellizzari, Mauro Vertrist. So Sacha Duquet and Thiago Dirks didn't really make it to the start anyway. Thiago Dirks had 2 moments on his own, and the CS55 chassis decided it didn't want to play ball. Said, no, I don't like rain. I don't want rain. I'm not working. And believe you me, karts do sometimes have minds of their own, especially if the electrics start playing up and it doesn't want to kick-start the karts. However, Charbonnier, giving us a little bit of a show. Just you can see you trying to use the kart's momentum. Now, sometimes with chronic understeer, there is a way in which you can turn the steering wheel rapidly enough to kick the back end around. And Charbonnier is doing a really, really good job here of keeping ahead by quite a comfortable margin. The gap after 2 laps was 1.5 seconds. It's now 2.4 seconds, being the lead for Charbonnier over Hardouin. Kozlowski, Piquillon. Piquillon's being caught by Van Kellecom, the only rookie in this race. So still with about 10 minutes to go, there is still a lot of action to be done at this circuit, and there will be a lot of activity. I don't know if I spot any activity reference the Senior B final in the dummy grid. Unfortunately, our camera at the moment can't really zoom in, but there is activity, so we are going to have the Senior B final. Hopefully, we won't have the dramas like we had earlier on, Seymour, and that just goes to show that sometimes nothing always ever works out to plan, especially when the weather is involved in this particular part of the world at this particular point of the year.
Oui, on est en train de s'apprêter en principe pour une finale B dans la catégorie X30 senior. On a vu de l'activité en tout cas dans le paddock. Ce sera évidemment à confirmer d'ici quelques instants, mais c'est vrai que cette course avait été annulée. En tout cas, on avait pris le départ de cette course avant qu'elle ne soit interrompue avec un drapeau rouge. Et on relancera a priori les hostilités dans la foulée. Mais on va, en attendant, vivre la fin de cette finale B. 8 minutes et 40 secondes encore au chronomètre. Il faudra ajouter au temps réglementaire un tour pour déterminer le vainqueur de cette manche. Manuel Charbonnier est pour l'instant largement en tête. 2 secondes 5 devant Léo Hardouin et Denis Kozlowski. Voilà pour le top 3 actuellement. Alors que l'on a Luca Pellizzari là, qui revient petit à petit sur le top 5. Il est pour l'instant en 6e position. Regardez comment ça revient. Et puis, ce qu'il faut noter aussi, c'est que cette piste évolue de tour en tour avec une trajectoire qui devient de plus en plus sèche. Alors, on est parti effectivement avec des pneus pluie pour cette course. Mais la trajectoire devient de plus en plus sèche et il faut trouver le juste milieu pour pouvoir être le plus performant dans ces conditions. Regardez ici ce retour avec une trace sèche qui se lie de plus en plus facilement.
So we are nearly halfway, we're nearly halfway through, about 40 seconds away from the halfway point of this B final for Junior X30. Of course, championship points still up for grabs for this. But it will be from 38 downwards all the way to 72 because of the fact having 51 drivers taking part. The top 36 already took part in the opening race, so the bottom 15 will, I mean, even though Germano Hoff, Levi Pape-Usri, Grosjean Pereira did not start the race, they still will get championship points as a direct correlation. But this is going to get very, very close indeed. Who's that bumping on the curbs? That is Monovatrice, and that is through on Charles van Kellegom, the rookie driver from Belgium in the 154. So nice move there from Vatrice to get through, and now is trying to go one-on-one once again with Lucas Pellizzari from Eurokarting, the Luxembourger, who, as you said, has had some difficult things to deal with this season in terms of performance. But, of course, this is a learning year for a lot of drivers that have been in it for either 1 or 2 seasons. By season number 3, the drivers are really up to speed. They've grown in maturity and stature. They've also put weight on. They've also grown taller, which is why I always feel like when some of the juniors are getting towards senior age, I feel like Richard Hammond out of the Grand Tour. I'm always having to look up at people. I'm going like, hang on, I remember when you were smaller than me. But these young drivers still keeping it on the black stuff for the moment.
Le leadership pour Manu Charbonnier, il est conservé et son avance est en train de grandir petit à petit. 3 secondes 5 d'avance sur Léo Arduin qui est toujours en 2e position devant Denis Kozlowski, le pilote allemand. Et puis derrière, on a vu effectivement passer à la 5e position Luca Pellizzari. Il a pris le meilleur là sur Moro Vertriest. Et juste avant, il était à la 6e place, il me semble. Quoique, non, c'était à confirmer. Je ne sais plus. Je perds même le fil de cette finale B.
It's a long day.
Mais
It's been a long day.
Ouais, c'est parce que je voyais sur les écrans qu'il avait pris une position, mais je n'en suis pas sûr. Excusez-moi pour les petites...
You're excused, my friend. You're excused.
Oui.
Don't worry. It's been a very, very long day for everyone involved in keeping this running to time. Of course, sometimes things don't always go as they would like to, but we are seeing a definitive dry line starting to show as we pick up I think that is our race leader, Manuel Charbonnier, in the 163. And the 163 for TYS Racing on the Pantano chassis, of course, the brand run and operated by ex-Formula 1 driver Giorgio Pantano. I've had the, well, funny enough, myself and Guillaume Alvarez had the opportunity of spotting on the gantry at the Euro Cup last year at Le Mans whilst cheering on Ruben Moya, of all people, one of his star drivers from Spain. But again, there are so many people that are now involved in the world of karting that are trying to do really, really well. Leo Hardouin's doing a really good job up 5 positions. Hughes Piquillon would have started 13th had it not been for the non-starters, but now runs 4th behind Germany's Denis Kozlowski in the 112. The driver on the Techno chassis with Santa Maria Performance. So these drivers definitely, again, this is, I think this, in many respects, Simon, this B final is a good opportunity for them. Because it gives them that additional bit of track time and also can help to start prepare them for what they will expect next year when we start the 2026 season here in Iame Series Benelux.
Ouais, ce qu'on disait il y a quelques instants, traduction donc, c'est important pour certains de participer à ce genre de finale B pour tout simplement avoir du temps de piste pour continuer à apprendre, engranger de l'expérience en vue de l'année prochaine, parce que dans ce peloton évidemment il y a des pilotes que l'on retrouvera l'an prochain dans cette catégorie et peut-être avec d'autres ambitions évidemment. Certains ont déjà prouvé de belles choses et auront à cœur de confirmer tout cela l'année prochaine avec de nouveaux bons résultats. Et forcément, on profite de ce temps de piste, on profite du week-end comme on peut, même si parfois les résultats ne sont pas à la hauteur des attentes et qu'il y a sans doute parfois un peu de déception, de frustration de participer à ce genre de finale, mais ça reste important. Attention, drapeau jaune au poste numéro 12. Avec Luca Pellizzari.
Oh, the weekend's gone from bad to worse, and he's looking at the right-hand side. Maybe the throttle cable has decided to give up the ghost. But that is a real shame for the youngster from Luxembourg. A real shame. It just goes to show how quickly things can change on a sixpence, and that is exactly what we have seen there with Lucas Pellizzari having a bit of a nightmare to round off his particular season here in Junior X30 for 2025. Meantime, Denis Kozlowski is now trying to close in on Leo Hardouin, and the Germans got the slingshot up the hill. Can this be? No, they cannot overtake, so Kozlowski's got to hold back through into turn one because they had to keep things clear, ready for extricating Pellizzari and his cart at that point.
Oui, on était avec les drapeaux jaunes présentés. On avait vu Luca Pellizzari en difficulté là, mais je ne vois... Ah si, son châssis est toujours là, mais donc le pilote est juste à côté. Et donc on signalait justement qu'il y avait cette présence au pilote avec ce drapeau jaune. Pendant ce temps, eh bien, on arrive tout doucement à la fin de cette finale B, avec pour la victoire, pour l'honneur dans cette course, eh bien pas beaucoup de suspense. Par contre, pour la deuxième position, regardez, ça se bat derrière Manu Cherbonnier, la bataille entre Leo Hardouin et Denis Kozlowski. C'est d'ailleurs le pilote allemand en troisième position actuellement qui a signé le meilleur tour dans cette course, une 12.685, et il passe à l'attaque et il passe à l'intérieur. Ouais, très bien joué de la part du pilote allemand, qui prend la deuxième position à mon avis, 2 tours de la fin. Oh. Et la réplique maintenant de Leo Hardouin qui va se faire resubtiliser la deuxième position, puisque on a le pilote allemand qui est parvenu à recroiser la trajectoire.
Yeah, Kozlowski has got back through as the timer counts down, and very shortly we'll go on to the last lap of the X30 Junior competition for 2025. We had the big grandstand finale where Jus Mulder picked up the victory for himself and also for Victory Lane. But Manuel Charbonnier with a 5.2 second advantage, now making his way through into Escargot for the final, for what will be the penultimate time in this race. And Charbonnier looking rather calm and composed. Kozlowski starting to gap Leo Hardouin for that second position rather nicely in the Techno chassis run by Santa Maria Performance for the youngster from Germany. So, last lap of the season for X30 Junior here in Iame Series Benelux. Manuel Charbonnier crosses the line, sweeps in to turn 2 on the 13th and final lap. Denis Kozlowski has got that gap down to 4.6 seconds, and with it takes the fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 11.550. But Charbonnier is doing exactly what he needs to do. Keep the car on terra firma and wait to see if he he'll make it across the line at this point with a clear conscience and a clear advantage at the end of 13 laps. So Charbonnier is en route to taking the flag for TYS Racing. A good job here by the number 163. Started 6th on the grid and will bring it home to cross the line as the B final winner here in Junior X30.
Dernier tour, dernier virage pour Manua Cherbonnier. Il partait depuis la 6e position sur la grille de départ dans cette finale B. Et il a parfaitement géré sa course et il va venir s'imposer donc pour l'honneur dans cette dernière épreuve de la saison, dans cette Iame Series Benelux. Félicitations à Manua Cherbonnier qui s'impose dans cette finale B devant Denis Kozlowski. Léo Arduin prend finalement la 3e position. Le pilote français qui devance son compatriote Hugues Piquion. Mauro Vertriest termine 5e. Et puis pour compléter ce classement, Charles Van Kellecom, l'un des pilotes rookies de ce classement. Il complète cette hiérarchie puisque derrière, on a eu des abandons avec notamment Luca Pellizzari. Problème mécanique visiblement pour le luxembourgeois Joris Verkerk qui n'a pas réalisé le moindre tour, tout comme Sacha Duquet et Thiago Dirks, et certains n'étaient même pas partis, à l'instar de Jaimaro Hoft, Lévi Pape, Ivris, Cyril Grosjean et Lucas Pereira. Voilà pour cette finale B de la catégorie X30 junior, et en principe dans quelques instants place à la finale B de la catégorie X30 senior. On n'a pas eu de contre-indication là-dessus, donc on va vous faire vivre cela dans quelques instants.